What's up, buffoons? It's Austin here. Bring you the week one recap of the Bills versus the Jets. It wasn't pretty, wasn't what I wanted to see. But you know what? It's a win, nothing less. We're going into week two, 1-0. We're going to go to the same stadium. We're going to play the Giants, and we're going to stop them. We're going to come out 2-0. That's just what's going to happen. But that's not what this video is about. This video is just a recap of week one. So, here's just some stats for you. Josh Allen. It was 24 37, 254 yards, threw for a touchdown, rushed for a touchdown. He had two interceptions, but he also had two fumble losses. One of them I don't think was his fault. Mitch Morse got blown right off the line. Ball never touched Allen's hands, but you know what? It gets credit to him anyways. So it is what it is. So we had four total turnovers. Which obviously cannot happen every week for us to win. We're on the road. We have four turnovers. 99% of the time, we're losing that football game. But since we're the Buffalo Bills, we don't. We come away with the win. Devin Singletary, who, in my eyes, is going to be the next best running back that comes out of Buffalo. He was a third-round draft pick. He came in. All preseason, worked his tail off, learned from LaShawn McCoy, learned from Frank Gore, and he just sat back. He learned, showed what he could do in the preseason, and you know what? Now he's the starter. He starts, and he will be, you heard it here, he will be the best next running back that comes out of Buffalo. Hands down. The dude's going to be a star. He had four carries. He rushed the ball for 70 yards. He also added, 5 receptions out of the backfield. So, you know what? He can run the ball and he can receive out of the backfield, which, it's nice to be versatile. On the receiving end, John Brown, 7 receptions, 123 yards, and a touchdown. Cole Beasley also added 5 receptions. John Brown and Cole Beasley, 2 additions in the offseason. Cole Beasley, a very, very good slot receiver that, as you could see in the very beginning of the game, that Josh Allen can rely on. He did miss that one ball that ended up in C.J. Mosley's hands for a touchdown. But, that's going to happen. But as you can see, at the very beginning of the game, Josh Allen wants to rely on Cole Beasley, and I think he should. So my first point here I want to talk about is, the turnover differential. The Jets had 0 turnovers. We had 4 turnovers. That obviously cannot happen going into the next weeks here. That can't happen every week. We got lucky. Our defense stepped up, came away with the win. My next point here is Allen's maturity. Josh Allen going down the stretch, particularly the second half, he looked very mature. He was in charge of the offense. He looked calm. The first half for him wasn't so great, obviously. We all know that. But the second half, he looked very good, especially that last drive. Had about 6 minutes left. And, he took the Bills offense right down the field. Connected with John Brown down the left sideline. John Brown did his thing, scored a touchdown. That was that. That was the game winner. That was the clincher, So that brings me to my third point is our defense. Our defense is the best in the league. Hands down, I think the Buffalo's defense is best in the league. And I don't think you can argue with me about that. We have the best defense in the league. They're just a bunch of dogs, man. They're out there doing their thing. All 11 hats are to the ball. They swarm the football. We have one of the best defenses in the league. In my eyes, we have the best defense. But obviously, we can make arguments about that. But my fourth point here is our offensive line. There's a lot of questions, and who was starting where, but you know what? Our offensive line looked really good. Some of the holes that Devin Singletary ran through, man, you could drive a truck through them. There were some big holes. Our pass protection was pretty good for a lot of guys that we just brought in. Um, but our offensive line looked decent in week one, and I only expect it to get better. Um, my last point here is, the halftime adjustments are coaching. Um, you know, uh, first couple drives you saw that Dable, was letting Allen run his things on the field. They were running hurry up offense. Allen was really in charge of the offense throughout the first couple drives, but once he fumbled, Dable kind of got away from it, which I don't agree with. I think he should have let Allen do his thing. That was Allen's fault. He fumbled the ball. He didn't secure it. Um, but uh, nonetheless, they got to, you know, Dable got back to it there at the end. Let Allen do his thing there at the end. That final drive where they drove down the field. I think that's what we can expect to see um, throughout the years. They let Josh Allen just do his thing on the field, be a field general. But we made some really good adjustments at halftime, something that the Jets didn't do. We defensively, we stopped Le'Veon Bell. The Jets only had 68 total rushing yards the entire game, which with a running back like they have, that shouldn't be a thing. They should have over 100 yards every game. But that was my third point. Our defense is just good. We have a bunch of dogs out there doing their thing, and they want to be out there. Our defense is good. You know what? So, those are my points. Leave a comment down there if you want me to cover something next week. But other than that, yeah, that's your week one recap of the Bills versus the Jets. Bills come away with the win, 17-16. Going into week two, 1-0. Going back to MetLife Stadium. We're going to stomp the Giants. That's just it. All right. That's your week one recap. Happy Monday, buffoons.